everyone, Ivy Lee Gaming here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we are going to talk about the new heroes that are part of these upcoming summon events. We have Gwendolyn, Boreas, and Orim. Let's take a deep dive and take a look at their kits and analyze whether or not you should be summoning for them, but also, are they good? Where are they good? Let's talk about it.
My mastery of ice is peerless.
Alright, so we have 3 new heroes part of this weekend's events. We have the Frostfall Summon exclusive event, where you can get Gwendolyn only from this banner. It's going to be a 10 times and a guarantee within 250. You can pull her sooner because it is a 10 times boosted rate. And we do have another amazing hero, part of the 10 times. That's a very rare to pull hero. I've literally said maybe they'll make Estrid a 10 times soon, and there she is. I will have a video with Estrid soon. I'm doing another collaboration with Win, who did the Shamir showcase. So we're going to be looking at Estrid in a more relatable way, not super OP like that Shamir. But we're going to talk about her use and his experience with her as someone who actually has her. A lot of us don't, so that's a thing. We also have new heroes, Boreas and Orim, along with Setrum in this 10 times banner that's also a 2 times chance to get legendaries. So there's some interesting heroes, and well, we need to talk about them. Hopefully this discussion can help you decide who you actually need for your account. Now keep in mind, this is a 2 times and a 10 times. It's a separate banner. You'll have boosted chances to get a legendary, and if you get a legendary, you'll have 10 times the chance to get these heroes. Setrum is a game changer, amazing for Guild Boss and Gear Raid 3. Boreas really seems like a top tier Gear Raid 1 option, and Orim is kind of a man defender who's kind of offensive defender, but really not that impressive, I think, is kind of my TLDR. And when it comes over here, keep in mind that this, you're guaranteed to get Gwendolyn within 250 summons. You could look at this as an expensive 1+1 event because you're pulling 250 to get her. No matter what, you're gonna get her. So hopefully, I mean, you're guaranteed along the way to get at least one other legendary, hopefully more. So this is kind of like an indirect 1+1 that just requires you to get to pity and a little bit beyond at the very minimum, and you could get other stuff along the way. Plus, it comes with a limited hero. So you can look at these a little bit differently. And Gwen seems to be a great support hero, more about shields, less about the actual healing, even though she's a healer. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about her. Let's actually start with Gwendolyn. She is our Ice Queen, absolutely beautiful. They did an amazing job with her, didn't they? She is a healer magic unit, regarded as the balm of warmth in frozen tundra. Gwendolyn is one of the most capable heroes in Taya. She has a wide heal and shield. So her talent, when allies are shielded of all types, the shield can absorb 10% extra damage. When allies with HP below 50% are shielded by this hero, the shield can absorb 20% extra damage. So damage mitigation talent, which is great and needed in some content. But yeah, let's continue. So her basic attack grants HP based shield to one ally in range. The shield strength scales with a healing effect attribute. So her shields are based on her healing and HP, which is great. It makes her more survivable in hard content like Gear Raid 2, where you're getting lots of hard hits. Alright, Icy Shell, her ultimate, grants a shield to one ally in range, which can absorb damage equal to 60% of Gwendolyn's max HP. Each of the surrounding allies gain a shield with half the strength, lasting for 10 seconds. The shield strength will be affected by the healing effect. Okay, so one ally focus, but still a little bit of shield for the others. Alright, her passive, when the shields for allies are gone, the target will restore 5% of their max HP. So a little bit of heal as the shields pop off. And then her other passive, when the shields for allies are gone, deals damage to 10% of Gwendolyn's max HP to up to 2 enemies around the allies and inflicts freeze. So this is cool. She actually brings a little bit of damage based on her max HP and some crowd control with freeze. So she's not like a typical healer. Like, don't look at her as, oh, I don't have a good healer. I don't have I don't have Elowen, the top tier legendary healer. Maybe she'll replace her. She's not going to replace her. She's going to be more like a Sadie or something that really helps with survivability in something like Gear Raid 2, I think is really the best way to describe her. So we do have a cost of 18 for her as well. Interesting hero. Here's her max stats. 12.5 for HP, 5100 attack, and 1000 defense. And her, let's see, her attack vanill's 4, 100 is for attack speed base. Okay. So I think she has potential to be great damage mitigation, but she's just not like, she's not all about healing. And she is a Northerner, of course, and they're all about their shields. So if you have a legendary Northerner Lord, she's going to be dramatically better. Still probably a nice boost with Isolde, but man, I think she's best for people that are struggling with Gear Raid 2 that also have a legendary Lord. But if you don't have the legendary Lord, you at least have Isolde. I think she'll be a big help for survivability, but not the best healer in the game by any means. More of a supportive damage mitigation hero. All right, let's take a look at her awakenings. When Frigid Flurry is triggered, deals damage to one more target. 2 increases her HP by 1200. Awaken 3. Allies around the main target of Icy Shell also gain a full shield. So if they're close to the main, if everyone's grouped together, everyone should get a shield around that's actually just as good, not just a weak one. Awaken 4, 1200 more HP. Oh, excuse me. I cannot do a video without yawning these days. And I'm not sleeping well. Yeah, pregnancy will do that to you. Awaken 5. When Icy Shell is triggered, permanently increases max HP by 8, stacking up to 3 times. So yeah, again, damage mitigation hero, beautiful hero, very lovely, but not your best healer if that's what you need. So just keep that in mind when summoning for her. Now, I'm going to summon for her because I can, because I have enough. And I do want her for the sake of content, so I'm gonna do it. And also as a content creator, you know, we might be willing to spend or get content creator perks that allow us to do that. So it kind of helps, but I don't know that the average person needs her. But at the same time, you do have a chance to get a rare to pull Fighter and Estrid as an epic boosted rate. And if you do pull for her and you have enough, you are going to get other stuff along the way. Unless you pull her early, which you pull her early, job done, right? And they also, oh god, they snuck in a little cheeky ancient summoning event too. Of course they did. I didn't even realize that. Did we even know that was happening? I don't even know. Did I forget? Maybe I forgot. It's fine. Alright, anyway, well that's another video talking about when to summon. Actually, I mean, if you have ancients and you want to pull them, sure. Maybe. I don't know. Let's move on. All right, we have 2 other new heroes as part of this 10 times and 2 times. Let's talk about Boreas now. So Boreas is a mage, really, really cool hero, pun intended. Boreas, an ice element born within the icy depths, commands an unfathomable power of ice magic. Yet he remains enamored with acquiring new knowledge. His talent, when attacking, there's a 10% chance to inflict freeze. Does extra crowd control every time he attacks, which is awesome. Love that. He is isoterrorist, which is interesting. But with this freeze in mind, if you're using a team for Gear Raid 1 that has Morrigan or Aeon as the Lord, having extra crowd control around really does help boost your cultist damage dealers' damage. So a good synergy there, just in the same way I like having Mari around for that. His basic attack deals 100% magic damage to one enemy. His ultimate activates Eternal Ice Haven and increases damage by 225%. Each attack will reduce the trigger interval of Frozen Purification by 1 second. This effect lasts for 20 seconds. So Eternal Ice Haven, when allies inflict freeze on enemies, deals additional massive damage. The additional damage is affected by the duration of freeze inflicted and has a cooldown of 1.5% of seconds. So again, Gear Raid 1 with Mari on the same team sounds like a win. Interesting. Or obviously Gwendolyn as a supportive hero, though you probably wouldn't need her in Gear Raid 1. But maybe there's some quirky uses for pairing this up other places, like Void Rift or something else as well. Or using him as a DPS in maybe Gear Raid 2 along with Gwendolyn, honestly. Alright, passive. When enemies are inflicted with freeze, they will also receive anti-healing. When attacking enemies inflicted with freeze, deals 35% extra damage. Okay, so when enemies are inflicted with freeze, it doesn't say he has to be the one to apply the freeze. So just having him in your team along with Amari or anyone else that can do freeze, like, I guess, as a tank, Brokir's an option, right? Or again, Gwendolyn. He's going to have anti-healing be inflicted as an extra. Oh, that's just really, really cool. Interesting synergy, absolutely. If you're going to use him, just make sure you use him wisely. He's going to take proper synergy to get the most out of his kit. And again, I just think, I keep saying Mari because why not? I feel like she's one of the best options to pair with this guy. Sounds pretty fun, honestly. I'm surprised they are different factions. Alright, Frozen Purification. When deployed, deals... Okay, there's where the more AoE comes in. Alright. And that's what this also reduces the trigger interval of the passive. So when deployed, deals 160% magic damage to up to 10 enemies in range and inflicts freeze on them. This effect triggers one time every 20 seconds afterward. During Eternal Ice Haven, the skill trigger effect is reduced to 10 seconds. So once every 10 seconds or 20 seconds, he's going to be doing a up to 10 enemy magic damage blast and freezing them. So okay. He can be his own crowd control and freeze, but it seems like he could really benefit by having others in the team as well. I really like him. He sounds really interesting. Absolutely would love to play around with him for Gear Raid 1. I haven't done so on the test server because they did some weird watermarks to the test server and it looks atrocious and I was not going to make a video with that. So here we are. But I had to do this look at their skills anyway. We have multiple heroes to look at. So yeah, he seems really fun and I would love to pull him, honestly. Cost of 19 and then revival of 60. Okay. All right, in his awakenings, awaken 1 during the ultimate of trigger chance of the hero's talent increases by 40%. So it goes up to 50% chance to freeze enemies. Oh, that's a really good awakening 1. Hello. Attack up 5% with awaken 2. Awaken 3, frozen purifications damage plus 50%. Awaken 4, rage regen auto plus 1. And awaken 5, ultimate duration plus 10 seconds. That's really good, because then that, that's really good, because that will definitely help to make his AoE come back more often, every 10 seconds instead of every 20 seconds. So adding more time to that is great. It'll pop a whole nother AoE due to his passive. All right. I do think he has like a weird arena potential too, maybe in the right team. He's really interesting, again, with like a very crowd control heavy team. Maybe even something like Guild Wars. I don't know. I feel like there's some interesting potential for this guy. And the Isoterrorist faction is kind of... I don't have much for that, so I would love to get him. Alright, HP is 10.6 thousand, attack 4,600, and defense only a 700. 2.6 is his attack interval with 100 attack speed base. Okay. Really, really interesting hero. He seems really top tier, honestly. I have heard good things about him, especially for Gear Raid 1. I feel like just freezing the enemies, providing some crowd control, is huge, something like that. So, and yeah, if you have Aeon or Morrigan plus a big damage dealer like Vienna or even just Zealous or Lysier, and Iona, like other people that are cultist that are paired with the cultist lord, and then you throw him in the mix, he's going to be helping to increase their damage as well as an enabler. All right, now we have Orim. Really cool design. I love this little elf. I just called it elf. Oh god, dwarf would be so offended. I love this dwarf. He looks so cool. The glowing shield is really neat. I think they did a good job there. But unfortunately, I know he's underwhelming based on the feedback of the community instantly when he was listed. So let's read. The dwarf forger who mastered the Macapolis ancient forging skills. Wherever he goes, smoke and furnace follow. Counterattack, buff, and burning. So his talent increases crit rate by 15%. For every 5 crits landed with a basic attack, triggers a hammer smash that deals 160% damage to one enemy. If the smash only hits one target, the damage dealt will be increased to 200%. So this is already, okay, it's a damage dealing defender. But is his damage good enough? And why would he be a defender if he has no defensive skills? Doesn't quite fit. All right, let's keep reading. Physical attack. Deals 100% damage to one enemy with a 40% chance to trigger a shield attack that inflicts burning on the target. So damage over time. His ultimate increases attack range and reduces physical damage taken by 20%, lasting for 26 seconds. During the skill effect, the hero deals 60% damage to targets in range, inflicting burning. Additionally, each triggered hammer smash will deal AoE damage up to 10 targets within a larger range. Okay, so he's going to be tanky and have a little bit of like damage mitigation, right? At least physical damage mitigation, but not magic. So as a tank, that does help. And he's going to inflict some damage. So I kind of feel like he's one of those that maybe he'd be good for a glacier set where you're trying to get attack HP on him too to boost his attack, and then you're looking for crit rate and crit damage as well. But at least you can help his survivability as a tank along the way. It's just probably not when you try to spread out that many things, though. You know, like you kind of lack. Either he's not going to be good enough as a defender, or he's not going to be impressive enough as a damage dealer. Is usually the case. I don't think he's exactly as good as Captain Rev damage wise. And Captain Rev brings control, and this guy's just bringing burning. It's good, but I don't know that it's exactly what you're looking for with most defenders. Maybe, though. Maybe he's a little underrated, like my friend, like his fiery dwarf friend Azor. And, I mean, Azor's not great, but at least his defense, or his damage is based on defense, so you can build him extra tanky. Alright, so his passive here. If the hero receives damage from the attackers with burning, there's a 50% chance to retaliate to the attacker, dealing 100% damage. And then his passive, when deployed, gains crit rate increase and grants all allies crit rate damage increase, which is a crit damage increase of 20 and a crit rate increase of 20. All allies crit damage increase is pretty cool. That's a great supportive role right there. That might be a little bit underrated. That's pretty amazing, honestly. Crit damage plus 20? I mean, 20 is, it's decent, right? It's like having an another stat from like a substat on an artifact or gear piece. So he seems like he's a little bit of a mixed bag. You know, he's got like the supportive thing here with giving them a buff. He has damage mitigation, but he's all about attack and burning. And burning deals 20% magic damage per second. By the way, damage over time. And he does need to crit, but he has a base extra crit rate of 15%, so a little bit easy to build with crit. I feel like he needs too much. Not sure how he will actually play out, but maybe that's why people don't love him. Alright, Awaken 1, hammer smashes triggered by basic attacks, guarantee crit hits. Awaken 2 adds 30 or 300 attack. Awaken 3, required cost for the first deployment, -5. First deployment -5, but if he dies, his cost is the same to revive. Crit rate plus 8% and Awaken 5. When not in Fireball defense state, attacking targets with burning will also restore 50 rage for the hero. okay, but again, doesn't sound OP. And I totally get why people aren't excited for him. But maybe there's some uses where we got to get a little creative with him. Maybe somewhere like Artifact Material Raid, like how I use Azor as one of the defenders on the edges before, like preventing more units from coming toward your fighters that are focused on Salazar. Maybe having him around to kill those enemies on one side and not just let them sit there and stock up and eventually break through. He might be okay for that role, especially if you have a good healer to help keep everybody alive along the way. So that is Orim. Alright guys, and that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about these guys, and I will see you in the next one. Or live for our summoning party. I need to post for that. That's a thing. Oops. Yeah, we need to do summons. Summoning party, let me know in the Discord if you guys want me to do your summons on the 22nd. Should be lots of fun. We have a lot of options.